Hello guys, welcome to the market commentary for today. Today is Friday, December the 17th, so hopefully your trading week is coming to a nice end and you've had a good trading week this week. Let me just put the disclaimers up on the screen. There they are, top left hand side, so please do read them. And just an introduction to what the 3D market commentary is for those that might not know. So 3D market commentary is a video that we do every day, Monday to Friday, to expand on an email that we send to our free members every day, Monday to Friday. That email has information on 5 major world markets, and for each of those markets we look at 3 separate elements, looking at 3 different technological and statistical probabilities. That's what we look at. So we do a video to just expound on it, explain it a little bit more. If you have any questions after watching this or whilst you're watching this, whenever, you can email me, Becky@tradictive.com. There's also support@tradictive.com as well, so you can email either one of those. You can also go to, let's bring it up, tradewithufos.com/Becky. From here you can get apps and platforms, some of which are free. You can scroll down and get one-on-one coaching if you'd like. And you can come down here and post a question in this public environment that enables other people to see the questions and the answers. We can post answers in here. So it might be that a question that you have has already been answered and there's something there for you, or it might be that you're doing somebody else that favour later down the line. So that's that link there, tradewithufos.com/Becky. So let's bring up the email that we send out every day to our free members, and of course corresponds with market data, so we'll have a look at that as well. So as I said, it's a 3D approach because we look at 3 different elements per market. The first element that we look at is what we call market climate. Essentially what that means is, what's the upcoming market direction? Is it likely to go up? Is it likely to go down? Or is it not really likely to go either direction? And therefore we have a better idea of whether or not we buy, sell, or do nothing. Now we use an app to help us. It's called AutoClimate. AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms you can get it on. What AutoClimate does is tell us basically where the probabilities lie. And it does that with these dots that we see. Ignore the lines, focus on the dots. If it's a thick red dot, that tells us probabilities downwards. If it's a thick blue dot, that tells us probabilities upwards. If it's a thin dot of either colour, that tells us not enough probability either way. So again, we get a really clear understanding from the AutoClimate where the probabilities lie. So we'll look at that per market. Then we'll look at where we should buy and sell specifically, using buy and sell UFOs. UFO is an acronym. It stands for unfilled orders. Essentially what we're doing here is we want to know, where are the buyers and where are the sellers? If there are lots of buyers, they're more likely to push price up. If there are lots of sellers, they're more likely to push price down. So knowing where they are gives us an idea of where price might move from. So we have these green UFOs, they show us where the buyers are. And we have these red UFOs, they show us where the sellers are. So we'll look at that per market as well. Then what we'll look at is market volatility, which essentially is how quickly we expect these markets to move. So we'll look at each of these elements per market, starting with the S&P 500. Now remember, what we're looking at here are each of these markets, we're looking at the daily charts. So of course, different things happen on different time frames, but what we're looking at here is relevant to a daily chart. Okay, so with the S&P 500, we have a thick blue dot here on our AutoClimate. Probability is upwards. We have buyers down here at 4479.75 to 4436.25 and no sellers above us. So overall probability upwards. Now in terms of volatility, we would expect that the S&P would move up or down in 1 year by 21.4%. So that means in a day, movement up or down by 62.57 points. In a week, it would be up or down of 137.75 points. And in a month, 286.75 points, up or down. So that's the S&P 500. Overall, currently probability to the upside. Now, just because we say something is probable doesn't mean it is definite. So bear that in mind. Everything that we're talking about here is, of course, based on statistical likelihood, which in no way means guarantee. So, of course, we manage our risks just in case, and we might look at other elements as well to increase our probabilities. Now, coming to look at crude oil, that's the next market. As I load this, just to show you here about the different courses that we offer, most of the courses do come with a 3-month complimentary access to the different apps. AutoClimate is free on most platforms, you can get it on anyway. AutoUFOs is a paid-for subscription model. You can subscribe on different platforms, and depending on which platform you use, depends on the price. You can subscribe directly to them. You don't have to get a course. But if you get a course and you get the apps for free for 3 months, it actually ends up cheaper doing it that way anyway. So I check that out. Okay, so oil. We have a thin blue dot there. It doesn't really matter what the colour is. What matters is that it's a thin dot. The thin dot is AutoClimate app's way of telling us not enough probabilities either way. Do nothing. No point trading something that doesn't have clear probabilities. Now we do have buyers beneath us at 69.49 to 62.43. They've already worked to push price up. Price came in, hit around here and was pushed up from there. So they are working already to have pushed price up. If price were to come back down and hit them again, wouldn't be surprised to see price be pushed up from there. For the time being though, obviously not yet at those buyers. So for the time being, still not enough probabilities either way. We have sellers up here, 79.23 to 77.98, but of course, a little bit further away than those buyers are. With volatility, we'd expect oil to move up or down in a year by 49.97%. So in a day, that's 2.23 points up or down. In a week, 4.91 points up or down. And in a month, 10.21 points up or down. So that is oil. Now the next market is gold. As I load gold, just to focus down here on the coaching and support that we offer, we do offer a bunch of coaching and support for free on different platforms, so you can join us on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that and join us for our sessions for free. We also have a closed coaching environment, which is a small monthly payment to have access to more of our time in those closed environments. But either way, we offer a bunch of coaching and support, so check that out. So with gold, similar to oil in that we have an unconfirmed climate, meaning not enough probabilities either way. Price isn't really sure what it's doing. It dropped down, it kind of went nowhere for a little bit, and in the last day or so it shot up. Now it might be that it confirms itself to the upside. It might be that it doesn't quite know what it's doing, it comes back down again. For the time being, if it doesn't know what it's doing, neither do we, that means we keep out of it. Now we do have buyers here, 1781.3 to 1753, and we have sellers up here at 1873.3 to 1844.2. We're kind of in the middle here, not really close enough to either stack of buyers or sellers to really see them do anything today. So overall, not enough probability either way on gold for the time being. With volatility, we would expect that gold might go up or down in a year by 15.22%. So in a day, that's 17.33 points up or down. In a week, 38.15 points up or down. And in a month, 79.41 points up or down. So that's gold. Okay, the next market is the US dollar. Now the US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide daily. So be aware of it. Whether you trade it or not, be aware of it. Now, similar with the US dollar, we have an unconfirmed climate. That's a thin dot on AutoClimate telling us not enough probabilities either way. Now, we have with the dollar, it's not surprising that it's unconfirmed. Price is kind of, bouncing up and down, not really going anywhere. We have sellers above us between 97.81 to 96.79. That already worked here. Price came up, hit the sellers and was pushed down. So we've got sellers that have recently pushed price down. We have buyers here between 95.595 to 94.965, already worked here, pushing price up again. So we've got buyers that have pushed price up, sellers that have pushed price down, and prices in between them. So no wonder it doesn't really know what it's doing. In the end, one of these will win. As whoever's got the most orders is going to win. So we'll see, but for the time being, unconfirmed with the US dollar as well. Now with volatility on the US dollar, we'd expect it to move up or down in a year by 5.7%. In a day, that's 0.34 points up or down. In a week, 0.76 points up or down. And in a month, 1.58 points up or down. That's the US dollar. Now the last market, last but not least, is backed Bitcoin. As I load this, just to focus down here, being a top trader, we have our own platform, which is called TOP, Tradictive Options Planner. That's what it stands for. Now, even though it has options in the name, it's also good for stock traders and futures traders as well. So check that out if you want to see our platform. It's got all of our technology integrated into it as well. So with Bitcoin, we have a thick red dot, probability to the downside. Not surprising if you've been watching Bitcoin for the last few weeks, not surprising that it's going down. Now we do have sellers we are within a big stack of sellers right now, between 48,650 to 46,627.5. That's where we have sellers. Again, that's kind of where we're at right now, pushing price down. We have buyers quite a long way away at 32,820 to 31,615. So room to the downside, probability to the downside, and sellers pushing us to the downside. So overall, probability down here with Bitcoin. In terms of volatility with Bitcoin, we'd expect it to move up or down in a year by 83.7%. So in a day, that's up or down of 2,482.61 points. In a week is up or down of 5,465.2 points. And in a month, 11,376.73 points. So that is backed Bitcoin. Now for each of these markets we have looked at market climate using the AutoClimate app to show us where the probabilities lie, up, down or nowhere. We've then looked at buy and sell UFOs. Where do we have buyers and sellers that could push price up or down respectively? And then we looked at market volatility, which is how quickly we expect these markets to move in a year, in a day, in a week, and in a month. So we've looked at each of those elements per market. Last thing to look at here is our weekly economic calendar. And we get this, so my mouse is being weird there. We get this from fxstreet.com. And what we do is we filter by high impact news. That's what this red box means. High impact news, because we want to know which scheduled news reports are likely to have an impact on these markets and increase their volatility, which comes with increased risk, could also come with increased reward, but we want to know that as traders. So today we had news that came out very early morning in the States on Japanese markets. Nothing else scheduled today, so nothing to be aware of upcoming for today in terms of scheduled reports. Now, if you have any questions, you can email me, becky@tradictive.com, or you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky. From here you can get apps and platforms, you can get coaching, and you can come down here and you can ask questions in this public space, which I can then answer in the public space, and we all learn from this area. So that's me done for today. I'll be back on Monday morning for the next one of these. I have a stock session later on, so for those of you that trade or invest in stocks, by all means join me a bit later on in our session there. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, take care guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.